My name is Abel Zachariah. I have been a faith convener this past council from 23 to 24, and I am applying for an executive position as president. And here's what I bring to the student council table towards the purpose, towards the goals, towards who I am as a character, so I can bridge up and level up this upcoming year and help make the school year even better. I believe the purpose of student council is to help others, is to cooperate with others, is the ability to hear other people's opinion. And as a council, we are to be able to accommodate grade 9s towards the school, make grade 10s, 11s, and 12 feel like the school is a safe place for them to enjoy day in and day out, which is the purpose of the events we plan throughout the year. So students and teachers feel more comfortable towards the school and the community. So we need to be able to affect the community as well. And all of this is done through our cooperation, how we invoice our own ideas, and how we are able to lay out different topics, whether it be socially or individually. And that is what we need to convey together. And that is what I believe the purpose of council is, to not only affect our school as a whole and bring all of the community together towards the school, but to bring our students and the community in a better place each and every day. The goals for this upcoming school year as student council, I'd like to separate these into individualistic and as a whole. Individualistically, we need to be able to take responsibility over our tasks and be more diligent towards how we approach our events, so that we may be able to voice our own opinions and be able to be heard amongst the rest of the members, which is really important because inclusion is really critical when coming up with different ways of handling events and finding solutions to many different issues. As a team as a whole, we need to be able to work together. We need to be able to find different ways how we could execute our plans towards the events, so we won't be stuck and be in a standstill when it comes to handling the events. So we need to be able to execute them in an orderly fashion, and we need to be able to do it ahead of time, planned everything ahead of time, so we know exactly what we're going to do and how we're going to approach every single issue and tackle everything that we need to get done. Outside of events, I believe individually and as a team, we need to figure out more creative ways of engaging the students, finding different events than the ones that have been used over and over again, I believe, these past couple of years, finding new initiatives to affect the community, whether that be through advertising the library, not precisely advertising, but sort of supporting the library, supporting main businesses in Sault Ste. Marie. I believe finding different ways to support many different places that are important in the community is critical as a council, so we may be able to help. For example, the YMCA that's closing recently, I believe we could do something about that as council. We could raise awareness in a way about that as council. Even though it may be not our job, it is our responsibility to affect the community in a positive way, whether that be through helping out different places, whether that be creating ideas to fundraise money for different areas, not just really for Life and Smile and the Christmas parade. We could find many different initiatives that we're able to help and find many more ways we could impact the community. And that is part of my goals towards council this coming year. And that is important for us to be, and which is why it is really important for us to be able to communicate as a team and execute it in an orderly fashion. Over the course of my 3 years in high school so far, My time management skills have been based off of whether I was able to spend time over my academics more, or whether I was able to spend more time on my extracurricular activities more. As each year passed, I was able to learn how to spend time with each and how to give importance to each, which was why I was able to both contribute to the present council and outside of school in my volunteer hours, as well as my sports with my academics. Commitment is a really important part of student council, and I really believe so because there are many events I was able to contribute to over the past council. The current one right now. I was able to help in many different areas, whether that be in many different events, whether that be helping out in the parade while making the parade, being a character on the nativity scene, helping out with the grade 9s, 10s, and 11s with their events, and supervising, in a sense, overseeing the events, being able to express myself more or less towards other students, allowing me to contribute in many other ways in terms of connecting with the students in my school. So commitment is pretty important, and it can be seen not just through my extracurricular activities, it can be seen through my studies. Everything I'm really passionate about, whether that be my math or science classes, or badminton and basketball, anything I really enjoy and am passionate about, I'm really willing to take responsibility over it and to put my actions according to how it should go, so that I would have success in whatever I would do. So my work ethic matches my passion. And when I'm really passionate about something, my ideology is to wake up early in the morning. My ideology is to sit up late at night thinking over it. My ideology is to make sure that we perfect everything that we know and everything that we're able to do to achieve what we need to achieve. And that is how my responsibility and work ethic works. And that's how I sort of view council and how I sort of view St. Mary's College as a whole, as a place where I get to excel because of my passion towards not just the school, but towards the students themselves. There have been many leadership roles that I've gotten to play. I have been an older brother towards my two younger sisters, and I have a responsibility there to not just take care of them, but to make sure they're okay, not only at school, at home as well, making sure they go to sleep on time, they eat properly, and their behaviors are appropriate at home. When I was another reason why I would say I fit into the leadership role is growing up in India, I was able to see my parents as missionary doctors. Around at the age of 9 or 8, I was able to help them in many different areas of treating different patients. Being there and seeing these different people with different issues and different problems, I was able to find a desire not only for medicine but for helping others. Which is why when I came to Canada and to Sault Ste. Marie specifically, I was able to help at the Friends of the Library. I was able to help them with books, organizing books, helping them to sell books, helping them to make sure that books that people had for their childhoods, some of these books at the Friends of the Library belonged for different families and belonged to many of their different cultures and ethnic personalities, which is why I wanted to celebrate it more, and I found different ways to sell it at Rotary Fests and stuff, and people were finding it intriguing to get those books and to find different topics they could go over, which is one of the reasons I loved working at the library. Another reason I believe I fit into this leadership role is being a faith convener, and we're helping different things, helping with different faith-related activities around the school. I was able to help Miss Paniak with masses, many different masses, which I love doing. And praying before council made me really excited because that invokes my inner self, where I get to pray for the school, which I value a lot, and it's really important to me to do so for many teachers and many students. So for me to be given that opportunity to help with mass and with prayer played a very pivotal role for me in terms of how I see others and how I see myself in school. Another reason I feel like I fit into this leadership role specifically is because going on with the concept of faith, I was given the opportunity to help with Chrism Mass when it was here in Sault Ste. Marie, and that was my first time playing altar boy at the Precious Blood Cathedral, and I did it with the bishop and everyone, with all the priests and with everyone on site. It was pretty nervous for me because it was my first time, but ever since then I loved it. I loved going to Precious Blood, and I really loved being an altar boy there, allowing me to see many different types of people who come there for prayer. And I feel like as St. Mary's College, we need to value prayer a lot. And as president, that is what I plan on doing, to make the council more faith focused. And that is how I want to achieve it, by being in this role. Because being a leader not only means that you present yourself in front of others, but it means you invoke a change towards everyone else around you. And that is what I plan on doing. Additionally to all the leadership roles that I've mentioned, I was able to also create a new club with another partner of mine known as the Debate Club, and I was able to represent the school for the first time in a debate competition across Ontario. A couple of my successes over this past year is a photograph that has been taken by me and is placed on the school wall. It was during my photography course with Mr. DiCerbo, and a couple of the photos I have taken during that period of time was in the dark, was in the night, and the first photo you take is never the one that's going to be the best one. You have to really try, you have to really play with angles, you have to experiment, and no matter how bad you feel about the photo and how much you feel like you cannot do it, being able to have the mindset to say, I'm going to try until that picture or my idea comes into mind and it will play out. And that is how I sort of viewed it. So I would go out in the night, out in the dark, in the snow, when it was really cold, and I would stay there and try to work on my photos, no matter how much it seemed that I wouldn't be able to do so. Another example of my successes is scoring a 99 on my finals exam in chemistry. And that exam happened right after my grandpa died. So when I moved to Canada when I was around 11 years old, I had not seen my grandpa in a long time. I was only able to see him last year when I went to visit him, and this past December when I visited him again. After that, this February, during the first semester's exams, he had passed away. And that was right before my chemistry exam, which was very tough on me mentally. And I couldn't deal with anything else around me. And I was able to push myself physically and mentally to be able to write that test and to study properly. And that's another challenge that I faced. But through it all, I believe God has been able to make me go through it and face it with confidence and love, knowing that He's in a better place and I'm able to reach where I'm going because He is there by my side. And those are a few of my successes this year. Outside of my successes, I have been really able to enjoy every work I've been able to do. However hard, however tough, I have been able to enjoy waking up in the morning, helping with the announcements, or saying my prayers in the council meetings, helping with events. That's what's most important to me, to be available for the council. Last year, I tried out for the junior vice president, and I wasn't able to get that role. Yes, I felt mentally mentally unstable a bit because I was not okay, because I worked hard on it and I felt it was all for nothing. But when you really want to help something, when you really want to accomplish something, you never give up. So that's what I did. I applied for faith convener because I know my faith is important to me and I believe that's the role God wanted me to play. And that's what I chose. So no matter what I'm doing, where I am a leader because I am willing to give it my all. Thank you.